We decided we wanted to launch at Bastille on Bishop.
That's it.
Which, once again, was such a wild choice because, like, I had gotten this machine delivered to my garage, had started working on it, trying to figure out how it works. How do I load it? Do I need to switch around coil sizes based on the size of the stacks that are in there?
Oh, man, yeah.
I was working on it till, very much 11th hour. I had not... I don't think I powered the machine on until the night before Bastille on Bishop.
Welcome to the Hidden City Podcast. I'm Grant.
And I'm Doug, and we're here to share some of the incredible stories and people from Oak Cliff that you might not know.
We're going to sit down with some of the visionaries, craftsmen, and business owners who have shaped Oak Cliff into what it is today.
Oak Cliff is on the south bank of the Trinity River, a few miles south of downtown Dallas. While technically it was part of Dallas, it was its own city for a long time, and it still has that independent spirit.
We'll dive into the history and the spirit of this place, exploring the different challenges and successes that defined it.
This is The Hidden City, a podcast about the people and the stories that make Oak Cliff extraordinary.
Well, we are excited to have Collin Martin, who is the founder of Bingo Markets, with us today. Collin, thank you for jumping on the podcast with us for a little bit.
Oh, man, absolutely. It's a thrill to be here.
So, Collin, you're in the neighborhood here in Elmwood.
Yep.
And you started this business a few years ago. Tell us about how you landed in Oak Cliff and also maybe where this idea initially came from.
Yeah, sure. So I'll start with landing in Oak Cliff. So my wife and I graduated from A&M in 2015, and she went straight to law school. She went to A&M in Fort Worth, and I was doing an internship at the Environmental Protection Agency downtown. So really Oak Cliff for us was just like a geographical convenience. We ended up at it's an apartment called Alta Yorktown. I don't even think it's called that anymore, but right behind Sylvan 30, right on the border of is this West Dallas? Is this Oak Cliff?
Yeah.
Not really sure. Someone can call me on that, but that's where we ended up first because she could just hop on 30 super easily and make it to Fort Worth, and I could drive downtown, and it was just really easy.
Super easy from there. Yeah, that's nice.
Yeah, I landed in North Dallas-ish when I first moved to Dallas, the village where everybody lands.
I think everyone's gone through there, except for you.
I did not live there, but you did.
I did.
You did.
lived in the village?
A lot of people live there for a bit.
I was by the library over on the closer to the Target over there.
Were we talking one of the bougie ones?
No. Actually, it was in a couple of them. So,
really? Okay.
Yeah.
Have y'all been back there recently though?
Dude, I went to a restaurant over there.
Yeah.
And it was an Australian restaurant or something, and I found myself in the middle of the Village Apartments, and I was like,
it's
what
like a resort.
Yeah, I was like, why am I in these apartment center?
It's
whatever.
kind of nuts.
Yeah.
Village Apartments.
Yeah. Love them. But knew that wasn't where I wanted to be for all of my time in Dallas. But we were at that spot for a year, and we've kind of just steadily moved more south in the last 8 years since then. We were there for a year, and then we moved to a spot right at Bishop and Canty, this super old multi-unit apartment complex. I think that we paid $795 for our one bedroom when we first moved in.
That's what I'm talking about.
Which feels absolutely wild.
Yeah.
But it was so great.
That's awesome.
Just a lot of silly stories that came out of that time there. It was 500 square feet, no central heating and air.
Oh, yeah.
No laundry. Just some characters of neighbors.
Yes.
But we got out of there pretty much right before COVID, which was a great thing for our family. Because 500 square feet, I think, would have been a tough... a little tight. A little tight.
A quarantine would have been tight.
It would have been tough, yeah. But we bought a house in Elmwood.
Yes.
In 20... What would that have been? 2020? 2019?
Something like that, yeah.
Just deeply a fixer-upper,
nice.
Just young and ambitious and loved the bones of the house and didn't want the same flip that everybody was doing at the time.
You guys did a lot of the work on the house yourself. I remember this.
It was ambitious. We're still doing the work.
Good.
We're still doing
I love
the work.
it though. That's a good way to do it.
But we've loved it. The community here is incredible.
Yeah.
We felt like pretty immediately at home.
Yeah.
And to be super close to Tyler Station and to have like a greenway down the middle of the neighborhood and be able to I can walk to Keys Park and the trails are great and community is I guess I already said that, but it's amazing and it's diverse and just like a really sweet spot to be.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So we're never leaving.
There we go. That's it. Going into bingo markets, man, what is it? It's like curated vending machines. Is that the correct way to say it?
Yeah.
I know. I remember it was at Bastille and Bishop. Was like one of the first kind of like welcome moments of bingo markets. But how did you get to this idea? Like, and even just the concept of it? Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I guess like at the very base level, I've always had the entrepreneurial itch.
Yeah.
Like I had a lawn mowing business in high school. Like I had a leatherworking business in college. I flipped sneakers when I was in that Canty apartment.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Dude, flip sneakers.
Not
That's
the
amazing.
Cool sneaker flip, but
Yeah.
like I would go to Burlington and Ross and Marshalls and buy the there's still a market for them on eBay.
Bro, did you see the new Burlington over here?
Yeah. Did you see the videos of the lines
It was
outside?
popping off the other day.
You promised $100 gift card and people are going to show up.
Wait till Target happens.
Yeah. Oh, man.
My gosh.
Crazy.
Yeah. Oh, Winwood.
So I've always had the itch.
Okay.
And so I think my brain just kind of works where I'm always like trying to fill a niche or just like, how could I improve on this? Or like, how could I make this a business where there isn't one? And I walked past the same very sad vending machine every day for 7 years at the Environmental Protection Agency.
Wow.
Just like, your classic standard, like you see the same thickly iced cinnamon roll every day for like, 2 months straight, just like hasn't moved. And it just kind of like triggered a thought in my mind, like, I've never seen a vending machine that was maybe like consistent with the buying habits that I have. Like, I've never seen anything local in a vending machine. I've never seen anything that was like well branded or interesting or like made me stop. It's all the like same sad big black box filled with this stuff that like doesn't move.
Yep.
It's like under the thumb of Frito-Lay Megacorp.
Like
it's just like whatever you can get at
is.
Sam's Club for like, it's just like super easy, just throw it in there, people will buy it.
Efficiency,
right?
Like bulk buy.
Yes,
kind of stuff.
totally.
They've always stayed consistent in my brain, at least, ever since I've ever heard of a vending machine.
Yeah,
like
totally.
I've never seen any different version of a vending machine until you started.
It's always
this
got
thing.
the regulars. You mean
But even the
what
look
comes
of
to
it,
mind?
it's just very bland
It all
and
looks-
corporate, like you said.
Yeah,
But-
totally. And so I thought, like, surely someone is doing this differently, right? Like, there's got to be someone out there that's like, doing a cool vending machine. And I like I searched and just like couldn't find anyone doing it differently. And so that just like I couldn't get rid of that thought. And I think pretty early on I came to you. We had just started hanging out a little bit. We're doing Elmwood Farm stuff. And I pitched you in the beer garden. I was just
right.
would this solve a problem? Like, do you think there's a market for this? Thinking specifically about co-working spaces, knowing that you were in the world of co-working, like, what do you do for snacks? And you're like, sometimes we do like a box and then we put it out, tragedy of the commons, like everybody scoops it up, it's gone in like 100%. A day.
I remember having like jars of just like, I think like nuts or something. Like, it was like, this was not good.
So it was kind of like, okay, I have confirmation that like this could solve a problem for someone if I were to like approach this in a new way. There is like room to solve this problem in an interesting and fun way. And I mean, I think pretty much sight unseen, you were like, let's do it. Which I will forever credit your like.
That sounds so accurate.
Willingness,
like, let's go.
Put it in the wax space. Let's go.
This thing that you like, this baby that you've built, over so many years. You're like, sure, bring your crazy vending machine and put it in here. So like with your I started out trying to think like, okay, what would it look like for me to create a vending experience that was like at its core pleasant, just like fun to interact with, and then aesthetically pleasing, and then filled with the kind of snacks that I like cared about. Was interested in
things you wanted.
Yes,
and like
right.
That echoes Shannon Effendorf just kind of, what does he say? He's always like,
just be selfish a
be
little bit
selfish.
with your
Yeah,
businesses.
totally.
I mean,
Yeah.
not
it's like trusting
really,
your,
but like trust what
trust
you
your
want.
taste,
And if you
trust
can't
your-
find it somewhere, go make it.
yeah, trusting your taste and trusting like you know what good is a little bit kind of thing. And so that's interesting.
Speaking of Shannon,
look at that.
we got a little 5 Mile chocolate
5 Mile
here,
chocolate with us
so,
from the beginning.
You know, let's crack this bad boy open, huh?
We're gonna go into all these snacks at some point, but man, Collin's, you've curated. That's part of the story is just your ability to curate some pretty amazing snacks. But dude, tell us about this 5 Mile chocolate. What's this about?
I mean, I love 5 Mile chocolate. It is from the Oak Cliff Coffee Roaster family.
Yeah.
So an Oak Cliff local. So I knew I had to have them from the beginning. Like genuinely the best dark chocolate you can buy, as ethical as it gets, sourced very responsibly. Shout out to Jess.
Yes.
Okay. But we've sold it basically from day one.
I mean, that's mind blowing that you usually get the. I mean, Hershey chocolate is fine, but it's fine. But like, how cool is it to go to a vending machine where it's local? I mean, this is like hyper local. This is like
local. This is like a mile down the road.
Yeah, it's like this is about as local as it gets for vending machine.
Yeah.
But like even just the idea of regional or like Texan and some of this is pretty cool. But yeah, the fact that we have Oak Cliff chocolate in the space and in the vending machine is pretty cool.
You gotta rep Oak Cliff.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, so I guess back to like where we came from. We placed that first vending machine. I should back up. I knew that Bingo was going to need to be super design forward if we were ever going to like fit into the kind of places where I thought our target market was going to be. And so I called up my cousin-in-law, Tommy Blake, and I was like, hey, I have this idea for like making vending machines cool, basically. And like I could like probably fake my way in the design world for like a couple months. But like just give me a ballpark on like what would it cost to, like set up a brand, you know, whatever. And he gave me a large number. A very reasonable number for the kind of work that he does. But he was like, actually, like, I really love the idea. Like, would you let me come on as a partner? So I should say that from the beginning. Like,
that's cool.
This is a brainchild of Collin and Tommy together. He has brought the world of like very good graphic design and just like overall design to what we do. And that's kind of like from the beginning been like, let's not do the same sad, boring black vending machine. Let's like make them colorful and like
you've intentionally had a value of like putting in an aesthetic into this thing or a brand that's like relatable. And I would say that's even to the name. You know, like it kind of hits all of that in this brand. But yeah, Tommy has done an awesome job building out everything from the fun signs on the front to like to the wrap of it. It's been awesome.
Yeah, I feel like that's part of the ethic that I've come from is like, isn't it just so fun to make something that you expect to be really like boring and sad and turn it into something that's pleasant and exciting to interact with, right? Like thinking about being pleasantly surprised is so much better than like knowing you're gonna get a good thing. To me sometimes like I would almost rather like go to a hole in the wall with like the chance of disappointment with the opportunity to be pleasantly surprised with what I get.
Surprise and delight kind of vibe to this thing,
right? So like people come to their vending machine thinking like this is my last resort, and then like, oh wait, this is actually like kind of fun, and I've never seen this before, and like what's this, and wait, that's from right down the road.
Even your tagline, I feel like embodies that too. What is it? It's like vending with a soul, or like something. It's like, oh, this is your personality and Tommy's personality is in this like product and thing a little bit, which is pretty cool to see. So
yeah.
You've got new stuff jumping into the vending machine all the time, too. That's another surprise and delight moment for me where I'm like, oh, I haven't seen that yet. That's new. I'm going to just try it because I haven't actually even seen that before, like on shelves anywhere.
Yeah.
So you've got all these amazing snacks from all over the place, but a lot regionally. How do you go about figuring out which ones make it, which ones don't?
Lots of taste testing.
There we go.
Lots of meandering around like grocery store aisles, like seeing what's new, like what's
that's interesting.
I feel like that has like weirdly been a part of my life for forever. Like I just like love walking around the grocery store, seeing what's new, like what's like catching my eye, what's different. But yeah, thoughtful curation is kind of like the goal for Bingo. Like what can we inject thought into that's not typically thought of? Because that's kind of like, there's a lot of talk in the vending world about like passive income, like this is going to make you $1 trillion. You just gotta like you go to Sam's Club and stock it.
Yes,
and, like,
the finance bros on TikTok
totally,
are like,
yes,
grab a vending machine and do this. Yes,
And I will say that Bingo has been deeply not passive. It's
Very active income.
Very active income.
That's funny.
Which I wouldn't have it any other way.
Yeah,
like that.
yeah.
That is so much more fun to me and so much more exciting than the idea of passive income.
Well, that's where some of the personality and stuff comes from. Where I'm like, man, this is Collin and like Tommy. You can tell like this is something that is coming from your mind and heart on this thing. Man, that is awesome. Yeah. Okay, sorry, keep going.
No, that's okay. Yeah, we're always trying to source as much Texan as we can, with the goal of eventually being Texans' only beloved vending brand. Like,
awesome.
People are not thinking about what vending brand they love, but someday I hope that people will be thinking about Bingo as their like beloved.
Yeah,
I believe it.
But yeah, we are looking for Texas snack brands all the time. So like if there's a new snack on the market from Texas, like I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna pass it around to my friends, see if they like it, see if it's worth stocking. And that is like always a journey. There are a lot of like really well branded and like interesting looking snacks that are not good.
Yeah.
That you kind of have to like separate the wheat from the chaff a little bit. Like just because they've spent a ton of money on branding does not necessarily make a good
product.
snack.
Yeah.
That's really interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, we've sorted through a few. They're like, oh, this would look so good
You're
in
so
the machine.
excited to
We're
try
so
it.
excited about it. I'm like,
the hype is there. The marketing's there. It's like,
oh no,
the actually
the product
what it
isn't.
is.
The
Yeah.
product is not. It falls flat.
Man,
I
could see you running around and getting so excited. I mean, you're becoming an expert in snacks, right? Like, which we can't wait for the snack pod to drop, dude.
Hey, episode 1 right here.
I think it's happening.
Surprise.
But what would have been some of those like? I mean, is there any on the table or ones that you're like, oh, I love this Texas brand, or I love this. This one's been a surprise to uncover and kind of like share in the vending machine world.
Totally.
Yeah.
Imperfect Bites right here. I'm
that?
pretty sure
This
they're
one?
from Austin.
That's
That's called Texas Twist. It's got mango and chili powder and pecans and dark chocolate.
Dude,
I'm pretty sure they are from like a German chocolatier family.
What you crack that open while you're
sure. I'll
looking
just crack that up.
Yeah.
It's like so good.
I love the Imperfect
That one's
Bites.
got like a little bit of a kick to it.
It got a little bit of a kick.
Yeah,
that's
that's what it
Texas
is. Okay.
Another hyper local. I don't know if y'all have heard of Mex Snacks.
Yes.
They're on Fort Worth.
You brought that over before.
They stock like a bunch of 7-Elevens, but they have a picante mix that is incredible. And just like love the fact that they like I drive past them all the time. Like they are right down the street. They're here.
Dude,
so how'd you get connected with them? Did you?
I'm pretty sure I just was like maybe walking around 7-Eleven and then like picked up a bag and was like, oh wait, that's like on Fort Worth. Like that's right here.
You're like, this
that's
is
so
here.
close. Yeah. So I just like popped in. I was like, do you guys do wholesale to like someone small like me? Which has kind of been a little bit of a challenge because like so much of the vending world is like, I'm just going to go to Sam's Club or Costco.
Sure.
And like it makes sense because that is like the easiest course of action. Like it is so easy to do that and then fill a whole vending machine.
Cost wise,
taste
wise, it's pretty proven that like this is a good thing that people want.
Margins are going to be
give
stellar.
you a good,
Right. But it's so boring.
Yeah. Why'd you go to the non-boring route?
I don't know. Man.
Do you not listen to Finance Bros on TikTok?
But it's like it's been kind of a challenge because like the market is not really set up. I'm like having to buy almost like a boutique grocery store. So I'm like I'm buying from like 6 different places because there's not really anybody that's set up to serve someone like me. Okay. So hopefully as we grow, it'll be easier to buy like less of a boutique and more of like a real grocery store.
Sure, yeah.
And to be able to like source a little bit more easily. But like I am willing to go the extra mile in order to like Oh yeah, like I'll order 5 Mile chocolate directly from Jess as opposed to, or I'll swing by Mex Snacks like on my way somewhere else.
Dude, that's
because
awesome.
it's worth it to me. Like, forget convenience. Like I think this is a really interesting product that I want people to see and taste and enjoy.
I feel like you're kind of like valuing the relationship side of it a little bit in an interesting way. That's kind of. Yeah, it can be lost when you're like thinking that other way.
Right.
Dude, these are great.
Yeah,
I continue to eat this.
So
like, it's
good.
like
Can't
kind of
stop.
chewy.
Yeah.
How would you
Texas
describe
twist.
it? Imperfect. What is it? Like?
Imperfect. Yeah. It's the kick that gets me, really. It's that's like what keeps me coming back, is I got a little bite at the end of it.
What Collin was saying a second ago was reminding me of our conversation with Sky, kind of taking that harder route that's going to be a lot harder on you, probably, but you're doing it because you're like, this is the only way. I'm not going to do the Costco way. I'm not doing the... It's kind of fighting against that cult of convenience she talks about, which is
Sky McDaniel.
we're all hooked on.
Totally.
And it's like swimming upstream against that. I love that. It's cool.
It's been worth it so far.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah,
Keep doing
it's
it.
fun. You're making. I mean, that goes even to the brand too. It's like the things that the things you're putting out there. I'm always excited when people are at the co-working space be like, tell them to go to bingo markets and just like check out what some of the new things are and stuff. And so that's been fun. Another favorite that I can't stop eating.
Here we go.
My number one
waffle.
Stroop Club
It's
buyer.
You got all the data. You can tell like, Doug's on his 4th Stroop Club.
It's 9:07 a.m. Doug's got to get another Stroop.
Tell us about this, Austin, right?
Yeah, they're based out of Austin. I believe the owner's name is Chantal. She's awesome. I think we started out buying directly from them, and I think I have now found a wholesale distributor that they work with. Makes it easier, but they're great. I mean, it's a cute name.
It is.
Stroop Club. You know?
Stroop Club's great.
And they're better than whatever I can't remember the name of the big competitor that you see everywhere. I think that they taste a lot better, and they're like secretly vegan.
Oh,
Yeah,
didn't know that either.
Yeah, they like, it's one of those things. It's like, you don't know it unless you're looking for it, but it tastes super good.
I love it.
Yeah.
So my question for you, Collin, is what is the most popular snack
Oh man,
that Bingo Snacks
that's a great question.
often serve?
Well, this gets into kind of our overall perspective on like balance is important.
Yes.
Because you know what? We sell a lot of Snickers.
Yes, you do.
We sell a lot of
guilty.
Snickers.
Yeah.
Which, you know what? I have like no problem with.
Yeah.
Because I think that like, I don't know, you can get too like in your head or too pigeonholed about like we're the healthy vending brand, or like we are the like we are exclusively hyper local, and then you end up like not really serving anyone other than like you're narrowcasting to like two people, and there's like something super comfortable about getting a Snickers bar from a vending machine, especially if it's one that you feel a little bit better about because you know that it is like a pleasant thing to interact with. Like, I would rather buy a Snickers bar from a fun vending machine than from one that like it's something about like kind of the perception of like I feel better about this Snickers maybe because I'm buying it from a cool local business. It's like you're supporting local, but you're also like, getting a Snickers.
Well, I feel like your messaging early on was in watching it too as you've been creating it. It's kind of like, hey, we've got this like super thoughtfully curated stuff, but you also get like the classics.
The classics,
so, like,
right?
I think it's kind of like the idea of like the peanut M&Ms. I also get those.
Yeah, sure.
Those are pretty classic.
We all have our classic ones that we've eaten since we were a child. Snickers. Yeah, he called my shot on Snickers. That is 100% me.
Yeah.
But I like what you're saying, which is you don't have to not eat some of the ones that maybe are highly processed or like have been around forever. It's fine, but that's just know that that's a classic, and you've got a lot of good regional options.
They no one's improved on a Snickers. You know, it's like nobody's done it.
It's pretty
They
good.
haven't
It's
cracked
like
the code.
Coca-Cola. It's like it's just going to be its own thing, and
and we want to like provide often like the best possible version of what's out there, of like maybe what you might find in a standard vending machine. And so instead of like a standard Lay's potato chip, like I think that there are better out there. Like it's like
what's the snake? Yeah,
sea salt kettle chip. So we sell a lot of uglies, which added benefit are made from upcycled, like the ugly potatoes that wouldn't have otherwise been used, right? So it's like, all right, cool. I feel good that I'm like being environmentally conscious.
Yeah,
even in this
that reminds me
choice.
of what is it? Imperfect Produce. Didn't we used to have a pickup here? It
Oh,
was like
yes,
all of,
yeah,
that's
all
right.
of the stuff that was kind of like not fit for whatever
The
Kroger
store shelves or
Yes.
whatever.
Right.
That's like the same spirit. That's
Yes,
cool. That's
totally.
cool. Yeah.
And like as much as we can, like we want to be value driven in what we source as well. Like we want to
Yeah.
make an impact, but like in most cases we don't have to sacrifice taste or quality. Like a lot of people are doing both. Like they
Yeah.
are both upcycling the ugly chips and making a
good-
great product
Yeah,
like that I
yeah.
want to eat and
Yeah.
want other people to experience. Yeah, that's it's something where we're always trying to find like what is the best possible version of this kind of thing. And for Snickers, it's a Snickers, and for potato chips, like there are better versions of just Lay's. Like there are better options out there.
Man,
Love-
so like Oak Cliff, I feel like Oak Cliff's lucky to have you, but it's also in a way fits this like what you're creating really well, because I think this company is, I mean, it's fun, it's unique, it's like something that cares about like where things are coming from. How would you say Oak Cliff has kind of influenced bingo markets and when you've been creating this thing?
Totally.
Yeah.
I mean, I think like community is one component of it. Like getting to be around entrepreneurs like y'all, it, like very much gave me the confidence to step out and do this thing that I think maybe would have felt foreign to me even if I was in a different geography of Dallas.
Yeah.
Like I think that there's something about Oak Cliff that feels enterprising and entrepreneurial, and like there's opportunity to build, and I love that. Like there's just really some special sauce happening down here that like it's like opportunity and it's culture and it's community. But I don't think bingo would exist outside of the context of Oak Cliff. I feel like it's one of those things that is like, it's for all of Texas. Yeah. But like, could it have been born anywhere else? I don't know.
That's interesting.
I do think you're right. This area like has a influence on people to kind of just go for it in some ways. Like they just get a certain community around them, or there's just a certain spirit to it. That's like, hey, I'm just going to try it and see what happens.
Go for it.
Right.
Yeah. We've heard that time and time again with
That's right.
like restaurants and businesses where people are just like helping each other out, and it's like it's pretty special. I mean, it feels special, but dude, I'll never forget you bringing in that first vending machine into Wax Face, like through the loading dock.
I had no idea what I was doing, Doug.
Awesome.
I was so
It was
deeply unsure of what I was doing, but like
awesome.
you were rooting me on the whole time.
Dude, it was so fun. It's like an awesome moment seeing that.
Yeah.
So those early days, you've decided you're going to start this business.
Yeah.
But like you were saying a minute ago, you weren't really sure what you were going to do or how it was going to work. How did those early days look for you?
Yeah.
And how did you jump in? What kind of challenges were you facing?
Sure. So I was still very much at my full-time job at the EPA. So this was like started very much in the side hustle territory.
Nice.
And I just couldn't unhook that thought from my mind. Like I just really feel like there's room in the market for someone to like do vending in a new and interesting and cool way. And like just couldn't shake the thought and was like, okay, well I'll just keep exploring it in my mind. Just keep thinking about it, talking to friends about it. Like, would you wish that you had this in your office? Do you care? Do you think about your vending machine in your office ever? And just felt like I kept getting yeses in the right direction. And also was like not wanting to work in that job for the rest of my life. So like was looking for an exit strategy. Was in a very technical role and just like really like needed some creative outlets and just like was not going to be able to express those where I was. So it was like kind of a perfect storm a little bit where like I was wanting to leave my full-time job. I like had this idea that I couldn't stop thinking about. It had some financial stability with my wife having a great job. Like that is not to be discounted.
Sure.
Like,
Way to go, Emma.
Yeah, way to go,
And
Emma.
for
Like-
putting up all those snacks in the house,
Yes.
too. I'm sure there's...
Man. Yeah. Early days, I was receiving a lot of chip boxes to my house, which like no one was really thrilled about. Emma was an incredible sport about it, but like
you were using your house to store it.
using my house,
basically.
yeah,
So
for
much.
sure.
Yeah.
Very much was a home business to begin with.
Yeah.
and just like had chips spilling. We like designated one closet in our house to like snack storage, and it very quickly started spilling out from there into other places. But yeah, I cannot tell you how much I had no idea what I was doing. I feel like I like trusted the one thing, which was like I believe that I believe that this idea has legs, and I think I have like maybe the taste to at least get this started. Like I think I know what I want. Like I know what I wish that I had seen in the vending world.
Yeah. You believed your taste was good enough.
I believe my taste was good enough.
Yeah.
I was banking on that. And so, like did not know the first thing about vending machines, did not know the first thing about, like how to place those vending machines, how to work on those vending machines, how to move those vending machines places, like
payment processors,
payment processing systems.
Yeah.
So really, like Tommy and I just kind of dove in and just like, I guess we're just gonna figure out these questions one at a time. So Tommy spent a lot of time thinking about what the machine should look like, and Tommy's not local. He has been kind of all over the place because his wife is in the medical world, and so he's moved around a ton. But he's not been in Dallas for the time that we've been doing bingo. So he was working on designing the machine, and then I was like boots on the ground to make it happen. And so the first 3 machines I painted in my garage, like, and I feel like most of them were in the summertime, just like. Man, I learned a lot about tape and how to paint in a way that produces a nice finish. We wrap our machines now, so I'm no longer in the garage painting.
We've got one of the original.
We got one. Yeah, we got the OG.
Handmade.
Like first
Hand
ever hand painted. Yeah, one of one.
One of one.
But yeah, we decided we wanted to launch at Bastille on Bishop.
That's it.
Which once again was such a wild choice because like I had gotten this machine delivered to my garage, had started working on it, trying to figure out how it works. How do I load it? Like, do I need to switch around coil sizes based on the size of the stacks that are in there? Like,
oh man, yeah.
And like, man, I was working on it till like very much 11th hour. I had not. I don't think I powered the machine on until the night before Bastille on Bishop. I had no business launching a brand the next day.
You were doing it live.
We were doing it live.
You had no choice.
Foolhardy maybe is what I would say about it. But I remember I was like, I guess I'll rent a truck. Like I get like the guy who I had heard moves vending machines like couldn't really do it on a Saturday. It's like I guess I'll rent a truck with a lift gate. I don't know. Called a buddy, helped me had him help me push the machine onto the lift gate, put it in the truck, and then I'm like driving around Bishop Arts while everyone is getting set up for Bastille, and I called Doug in a panic like I'm on a 16-foot box truck, like where do I go? Like I don't know where to park. I'm freaking out, man. We got there. Like
dude,
we
you got
it.
a vending machine in the middle of Bishop Arts on Bastille Day. That was wild.
It was so wild.
It looked good.
I
People were
appreciate
interacting
that.
with it.
Yeah. I like stocked
was it just totally overwhelming, or was it just like
it was so nuts. What a wild day.
Yeah.
I stocked some like special French stuff. Just like I don't know, like you make it a little like try to like lean a little bit Bastille themed. I actually stocked Michelle and Augustine, these shortbread squares that are like dark chocolate and sea salt, and we've carried them since like literal day one because I was like, I'll just get it. It's French, and then it's my favorite thing that we sell.
It's amazing.
It's one of my favorites too. Yeah.
It's like a little salty, a little sweet.
Yeah, shortbread. It's almost like a cookie cracker kind of thing filled with the chocolate.
It's
like
great.
it's
so good.
And it's
so
not
nice.
too. Sometimes I feel like when you get the snacks, like I don't like. I'm looking at some of these, but like you're so full afterwards. That one's always like just the right little treat,
sweet treat.
Yeah.
A
little sweet treat.
A little something after lunch.
Yeah, just a little sweet treat.
Yeah, Bastille was awesome. It was like so fun to see people interact with bingo for the first time. Lasted about 2 hours, and then there was a power surge on the generator and like fried the motherboard. It was like it didn't have a vending machine anymore. All this thing that I had spent like months preparing for.
Oh man,
it was just totally toasted. And then I figured out like, okay, I guess I gotta order a new motherboard because it was slated to go to Wax Space like I don't know, like 3 days after that. So that delayed that a little bit, but like the amount
early
that
challenges.
I have learned about the inner workings of vending machines is like so different from what I expected to be doing at this point in my life. Like, wild.
What are some of the ones that have been like? I feel like it would have been some of the most frustrating ones, but also like the hardest challenges, I think, in some ways. Because some of it's, I would think the payment processing maybe is kind of
been killer.
Okay,
yeah,
that's
at times.
one.
Yeah. Well, just like everything that goes wrong is like a problem you're encountering for the first time.
Yeah.
With no background.
Yeah.
Like you are figuring out like, okay, I guess I got to figure out what this error code means on this payment processing unit.
Like what, YouTube stuff, ChatGPT, I don't know. Like
join some Facebook groups.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, Facebook groups. Yeah.
I feel like that, and then also like the very physical challenge of moving a 700-pound vending machine has been challenging.
Yeah.
And getting it level, I would think.
Yes,
because
totally.
Most floors are not level, it seems like. But those floors really need to be it needs to be level for it to work properly, right? I mean,
well, and
or
your
snacks get
machines
stuck.
kind of have like the peg leg kind of. It's got like a not mid-century, but I don't know how would you
like a
describe
hairpin
it.
looking.
Hairpin like thing. So that's there's so many challenges. Yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah, there was one move where just like almost every possible thing went wrong. You know, just like. Like I tried to clear it with building management, like, okay, this is what I need, right? And they're like, and then I get there with a 700-pound vending machine and like, oh, actually, like you cannot use that to move this in here. And I'm like 45 minutes away, like I'm in Richardson, like,
oh man,
and it's 5 o'clock. Like, what do I do?
Yeah,
like, where can I put this vending until I can get the thing?
Classic Richardson.
Yeah, right.
Dude.
Yeah,
it's always Richardson.
Wouldn't happen in Oak Cliff.
That's right.
Yeah.
Call
you can move whatever you want.
Yeah, you can use whatever you want on these floors.
Yeah, pick it up and carry it. I don't care. I
get 20 people.
Yeah. No shortage of challenges, but I mean that's just kind of the entrepreneurial way.
Like,
you figure it out as you go.
You encounter a lot of problems for the first time, and you just at 5 o'clock in the middle of nowhere, you just have to figure these things out, and you just accept that this is, we're painting an office at 10 p.m. at night because somebody's moving the next day. It's like it's just you got to do it.
You just
and that's
part
what
of
it
it.
is.
Part of it.
Yeah.
Part of it.
Yeah.
Okay, Grant, you got to try this Yes Bar. I want a real time.
Yeah, let's
real
get a
time
real. Yeah.
snack.
What is that? Well,
Okay, so I just recently started carrying those. Okay. I tried that flavor, black sesame sea salt, and I loved it. Okay. And I like am a little bit worried. Like, is it
it's like a health bar or is it no? Like
I mean, it's like super clean ingredients. Okay. Like very minimal. Like stuff. There's nothing added to it. Basically, like just like real clean stuff.
Black sesame and sea salt.
It's like kind of a little savory.
With toasted nori.
I'm really into
it. This is really nice.
What is
actually.
Nori?
I think it's seaweed.
Really?
Is it seaweed?
I think so. Somebody can fact check me on that.
Okay. Toasted nori.
That's a great flavor. Not one I'm used to either.
But like, it's like the constant battle of like, I think this is an incredible product. Is someone going to take a risk on toasted seaweed and black sesame bar?
Now that I've tried it, I would get it.
Okay.
Yeah,
I feel like that's like that's probably a challenge. That
I would
you
say
face.
yes to the yes bar. But
yes.
I didn't say yes to the yes bar first.
Wow.
It takes a little bit of like, you got to be willing to try new stuff.
That's where Taste Test Tuesday comes in.
There you
go.
How do you solve that problem? Like
samples.
It's samples.
Lots of samples.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I imagine people are not. They're not gonna. They're not gonna tend to try new stuff that often.
Yeah.
What else have you learned about eating behavior, buying behavior for people in general, based on what you've seen in your markets?
It is wildly variable.
Mm-hmm.
You can go into a space. I feel like we often go into a space with our like signature 40 products, like no repeats. This is like what we think works pretty well, and then you'll get a place that like almost everything is like very evenly distributed. Like you're getting someone who's buying like just about everything, or you have places where it's like, this is a bar location. Like people are just going to be buying your like RX bars, your Go Macros, your Yes bars, your South 40s. Or you have a place that like skews heavily, salty and like they're getting chips. Like our brewery location, people are like, which makes sense. Like they're
salty,
they're one salty, they're one
salty
spicy,
with their,
they want Mex Snacks Picante mix. They want like something that's going to pair well. So that's like, it's part of the fun part.
Dude,
like,
that is so cool.
How can we, like, we'll go in with our standard set, and then, like, what do people actually want? Like, what do we need more of? What can we bring in here that we haven't had other places? Like, or how can we even be creative outside of what we already do? Like, do we need a dog biscuit for the
That's what I was
dogs in the
gonna
brewery?
say. For the brewery, I love that there's a pack of cards. Like it's like, yes, it's a vending machine, it's snacks, but it's like, oh, maybe someone just wants to play cards with a friend, and like we can deliver that via this vending machine. Totally. You know, I think that's got to be. There's got to be such a fun problem to solve, which all of this is, but like with like trying to almost curate specifically 2 locations, and that's going to mean a lot to the clients too, I would think, where it's like, hey, I'm getting a nice service to this. So
it's individualized, which again, bingo or vending machines generally have not been. So it's like
you get what you get.
It's pretty ripe for a disruptive company like this. So as you think about the things you've learned, you've launched a number of vending machines. You've also done some bingo market placements. Mm-hmm. Can you tell us a little bit about those and how those work?
Yeah. Another one of those things that somebody asked us for. And we're like, yeah, we can totally do that. Like, we'll figure that out.
Yeah.
Or like, we totally always do that.
And then you go home, you're like, we need to do this now.
We need to do this,
we offer a podcast membership.
Right.
We don't even have a podcast studio yet.
So we started with our, our vending machines, and then we like had seen somewhere someone do like a kind of like a marketplace concept. So like a point of sale where you can grab your stuff and scan and check out, kind of on our system, but we've got like, you can put security cameras and like kind of watch people. But we found that is like, I guess we did 1 or 2 of those and found that people really enjoyed the ability to like grab the uglies and see like, oh, what's like, tell me what's special about this, or like see if it meets their dietary guidelines, or like, oh, I have a nut allergy, like let me grab this and see if it like complies with what I need. So like that's kind of a fun aspect that we didn't really think was going to be important, but people really enjoy being able to pick something up, look at it, and it also allows people to grab a drink and a snack at the same time, which is great. And then like, so those like have existed in the vending world. It's kind of like the cool thing that like vending people are doing, but it's plagued by the same sad corporate, like it feels soulless. Which is like great for us because we can come in and like make it look beautiful. Stock it with the kind of things that are interesting and eye-grabbing.
Be intentional.
Like, meet the needs that people have. Like I love being able to say like, yeah, we have like a ton of gluten-free options or a ton of vegan options. And that kind of sets us apart from the people that are just like, you get what Costco has.
Right.
Like you get what Sam's Club has, and that's it.
Oh man, that's so interesting. Man, I feel like, bingo is definitely disrupted a lot of stuff. In the way you're thinking about this, what has been something that you said, I'm in the vending world? Like, it feels like that's such a weird statement for me to hear. What is the vending world? Like, what, it sounds like an underbelly of something, but like, what do you mean when you say, like, what is this place?
It's a very old industry. It's one that's been around for a very long time. There are a lot of people who it's like a pretty low barrier to entry. You're like, I can get a Facebook Marketplace machine for $500. Go to Sam's Club, whatever. So there's everything from that to like Canteen, which is like massive corporation that is they have like, they're all over the country. They service small to large to like, they do everything.
Big vending.
Yeah, that's that is the best way to put it. It's big vending.
I can't with
that. But like they are I think in a lot of ways like stuck in the same kind of patterns, right? Like they are, because they're big vending, are not really nimble enough to like,
they can't innovate quite as well.
They can't really innovate, and they look kind of sad, and
they don't have a heart or a soul.
They don't have a heart or a soul. They look very corporate, right? And like they fill a need in the marketplace. Like they are there doing their thing. They've been around for a long time, but they are, they're just kind of boring.
I'm so curious about these like Facebook groups, like like this community. It's amazing.
There's a Facebook group for anything.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm a part of a Facebook group for the very specific brand of vending machines that we use. USI Wittern vending machine troubleshooting.
Wow.
You can join it if you want.
Okay.
I'll add you. They're like there's
awesome.
North Texas vendors, whatever.
Yeah. Oh, that's so fascinating.
Yeah, it really spans the gamut because like you can get in pretty easy, but then there's like the big corporate players, but yeah, they just like none of them are really like. There's like some innovation in the people want to be branded as healthy vending.
Yeah.
But it's like they're gonna stock baked Lays.
Yeah.
And like,
Yeah,
do we really want a baked Lays vending machine
No.
here? Right?
Yeah.
Is that healthy?
Yeah.
Healthy's just kind of like a amorphous
a
word.
buzzword.
Yeah. Like what does that really mean?
So when you look to bingo growing more and more in the future, what does that look like? Do you have a path that you're kind of like, hey, I want to be doing more of this, or I've found success in some of these areas, or like I'm still trying to figure out like as this thing's going?
I think all of those are true. I'm very much still trying to figure it out. I think like the thing that I can't get out of my head is like wanting to be Texas' beloved vending brand. Like, can we be a vending brand that Texans care about and like wish that they had in their workplaces and their like recreational places or wherever? I just think that like I think it is a business that like kind of necessitates scale. Like it's something that we will have to grow and keep like. We're just always going to have to be placing machines and placing these micro markets. I think micro markets are really interesting to me because like I don't know, there's always a spot in my heart for the analog of a vending machine. Like it's so fun. And I think there always will be a place, especially where like security is needed or like high traffic places to place those. But the micro market is just like, it's so fun to think about having a like very thoughtfully curated market within your business. Like, it's almost like going to RIP Foxtrot, like going to Foxtrot, but like in your building.
Well, there's something analog about that too. I mean, I love the vending machine is like, it's fun because it's like, okay, press buttons and you see something drop. I feel like I've got a couple of younger kids. I feel like every kid that sees it, kids
bingo,
love
man.
like the. I mean, it's like treats, but then also like just it's like a game or something. But there is something really awesome about, like you were saying, the tangibility of like picking up and looking at something. I feel like we've heard that with the brewery. Even like if someone touches a can or like it's like there's a chance it's going to sell quicker.
Totally.
And I feel like that's got to be so true with the like market kind of side of the stuff.
No doubt. I think once you've picked up a product and you're actually holding it, all of a sudden it's like, well, I might as well just try this.
I'll throw this in there too.
Yeah.
It's like, maybe I need a snack for later.
Okay, we're gonna finish with this one.
Okay.
Tell us about Original Monsters. I don't know, what is this?
Mellies, gluten-free Cookie Monster cookies. I think they're Austin-based too, women-owned.
Dude, a lot of Austin-based stuff. Is that just like the?
I feel like it's like the Texas like cool new food capital.
That's
it's
fair,
like where people are doing these products. I think mostly.
Let's get a hit.
Look at that.
Yeah, get in there.
Original Monster.
Let's get a hit.
Pass it around.
Pass it around. Look at that.
These are good.
No, I can see that. Austin, Oak Cliff. Of course, we got similar kind of values in some of this. Where
Yes,
it's like,
totally.
Oh, Collin, let's say somebody's listening. They're like, hey, I need bingo in my business. Where should they go to get in touch with you, and how does that even work?
Bingomarkets.com is the place for all things bingo. We have a... make it super easy for people to reach out there. You can reach us at howdy@bingomarkets.com. Shoot us an email where it's always in our pockets. Like we're very, very quick to respond. But yeah, we're always looking to grow. And so if there are folks out there who are hunting for a bingo market, like we would be thrilled to be.
And it doesn't matter like what kind of business or whatever. It's just kind of like
if the demand's there, like we want
to,
we would love to solve that problem for people. 'Cause I think that's like what it comes down to is like, I like to think we solve a problem for wax space. I like to think we solve a problem for places that are like, I don't really want to like go through the hassle of providing snacks for these people, and it's like kind of onerous and expensive. And if there is someone who specializes in that like we do, like let us come in and like take that off of your plate for you. This is what we do. Like, and we love doing it.
Yeah.
Like, we are all about giving people bingo moments. You know, like bingo. They got it.
Yeah, they got it.
Bingo, baby.
I love it.
Yeah.
Bingo, baby. Well, we're so glad Bingo exists, man, and that it's at the co-working space and around Oak Cliff. And
cheers, boys.
Let's get a little cheers in. Look at that. I like it.
Oh, I don't have the branded glass. What am I doing?
I don't know, dude. I don't know.
One day I'll figure it out.
Someday.
Thanks for joining us on the show, man.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, appreciate it.
Yeah.
Hey, thanks for tuning in to this episode of The Hidden City. We hope you discovered something about Oak Cliff that you didn't know. If you enjoyed the show, I hope you subscribe to it on YouTube and then follow us on any of the podcasting platforms. Also, if you enjoyed it, please share with a friend. And thanks so much for tuning in.